It's the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm, episode number 203. I am Mike Grimm, voice of the Golden Gophers, and welcome back to the podcast. We're talking Golden Gopher basketball again this week, as the Gopher men's team is set to put a 5-game winning streak on the line when it hosts USC on Friday night at Williams Arena. The Maroon and Gold is coming off of Tuesday's big home win over number 19 Iowa, and we'll get an update on the progress of the entire group from one of the key cogs. Sharpshooter Bobby Durkin will be my guest on this week's Go Gopher Podcast. Minnesota is 6-1 in its past 7 games. Our Go Gopher Podcast is presented by alumni-owned Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're a business founder planning to exit your business, start by contacting Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. Sunbelt serves more businesses up to $5 million in revenue than anyone, and True North M&A serves companies with revenues up to $150 million. Get a confidential, no-cost, no-obligation business valuation started today. Make the most of your life's work. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com today. Longtime Gopher sports supporter Cub is a proud sponsor of the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm. In a hurry, don't worry, Cub delivers. Get fresh meat, produce, everyday essentials, and more delivered to your door. Cub is the official grocer of the Golden Gophers and proud to support Gopher athletics for over 20 years. Shop happy. The Go Gopher Podcast is also presented by onX Maps. Find out how to download the onX Hunt app for free by listening to the Go Gopher Podcast. We're podcasting episode 203 from the Aquarius Home Services studio. We also want to thank Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union for their support of Gopher student athletes. They've supplied a gift card to Bobby Durkin for his appearance on this week's Go Gopher Podcast. We invite you to subscribe to or follow the Go Gopher Podcast. It's free to do so. You can go back and listen to previous Go Gopher Podcast. Last episode, for example, we got to know Gopher forward Jalen Crocker Johnson from men's basketball a little bit better in a terrific show. You can go back and have a listen if you missed it. This week, it's more Gopher hoops with Minnesota sharpshooter Bobby Durkin of the red-hot Golden Gophers. He'll join me next.
I'm Clay Geary, walk-on turned scholarship wide receiver for Gopher football.
And I'm Ben Utek, U of M alumni, Super Bowl champion, and Tony Dungy Uncommon Award winner.
We understand championship culture, which is why we're part of the True North family of companies.
True North invests in only elite teams, like the champion team at Sunbelt Business Advisors, Minnesota's largest seller of companies. To learn more about True North and our diverse family of independently owned companies, visit TrueNorthEquityPartners.com.
Know what the happiest bird is? Chicken. Cub fried chicken. Wait, let me rephrase that. Know what bird makes people happiest? Cub fried chicken. Crispy, crunchy, juicy, perfectly seasoned. It's the kind of chicken that disappears faster than you can say, 8-piece, please. Or, let's be real, maybe 12-piece. Because when it comes to fried chicken, more just means more happy. So if you're shopping chicken, shop Cub fried chicken and shop happy.
Bumped into Steve Terry from TSR Injury Law recently. Just a great guy. It's been so much fun to be affiliated with him, to work with him, to get him on the show occasionally. And just a reminder, he was there with his family. They were taking a trip. Just great to catch up with him. Just a reminder that this isn't some national firm that's trying to pretend they're a Minnesota company. This is a Minnesota company that started very small, succeeded, in part because they treat people well, in part because they're really good at their job. I don't know what more you want from a company. So if you're ever hurt, call 612-TSR-TIME. They'll take good care of you. 612-TSR-TIME.
It's episode 203, and we are talking Golden Gopher basketball for a second straight week. Bobby Durkin, Golden Gopher, with us. And first of all, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, how fun has this been? Particularly right after Thanksgiving. From December 1st on, you guys are 6-1. You've won 5 straight, playing really good ball.
Yeah, I mean, this past month or so has been an awesome stretch for us. I feel like we've gotten a lot better as a team, and I mean, we've had some good wins, so it's been very enjoyable.
What do you think has been the key? Because you've overcome some injuries. Obviously, you're missing a couple of guys that started the year as starters, and now you're kind of playing with this Super 7 group that is getting wins. What do you think has been part of the path here to get to where you have successfully?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's been a few things that kind of led to this. I think, one, everyone just getting more comfortable. Obviously, we lost some guys, which hurt us for a little while, but I think we're just kind of coming together and everyone's finding their roles, which has been helpful. And then another part that some of the coaches have mentioned, we didn't play a ton of games in December, which meant a lot of practices, which we were really able to work on some things that have allowed us to be successful in the past month or so.
Do you think you don't want injuries. You'd like depth. You'd like to play everybody. But do you also think there is a certain aspect of it where guys rise up when maybe do stuff that they didn't know they're capable of, or come together? And really, when it's only 7, you guys get to know each other because you're playing minutes together a lot.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a lot of clarity now. Like, there's really everyone knows what the deal is right before we go into the games. Everyone knows what practice is going to be like. So I think that in a kind of weird way does help, just making sure everyone's on the same page. Obviously, like you said, we'd like to have a full team, but yeah, I think there are some ways that it does actually help us.
Yeah, and how are you guys feeling? I mean, you got guys playing 39, 40 minutes. The other night, 3 guys had 40 minutes. You're playing a lot of minutes. I mean, are the legs still there at this point? You guys are all young, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think we have a lot of people that make it easy for us to recover. I mean, athletic trainers, we're doing everything that we need to do to make sure that we're ready to go by game day.
So all of that happens, but what do you think has happened from a mindset standpoint? I wasn't able to go on the trip to California with you guys because of football duties. I had to stay back for that. But I watched those games, and like, you had Stanford on the ropes, led most of that game. The Sioux Falls game, against San Francisco, you're kind of hanging in there. And then at some point, it has flipped a little to where these close games now, you're handling it, and the situation is not too big. And what is it, a mentality, or was it it's not just luck, right?
No, definitely not. I think part of it is just us getting better as a team. I think we really have improved, which has helped in some of the close games. And I also think it's just the belief, like you said, the mentality. Like, we truly believe that every time we step out on the court that we're going to find a way to pull out a victory.
So the other night, you get to experience a second court rush in as many Big Ten games at Williams Arena. Have you been part of a court rush before?
No, those were my first 2.
So how's that experience?
It was really cool. I mean, the first one was awesome, and then even the other night, it was a lot of fun to see all the students and everyone out there supporting us and enjoying themselves.
Yeah, and you guys had a couple of 14-point leads. You really controlled that game against Iowa most of the night. And then they're a good team. College basketball is a game of runs anyway. You just hope to time the runs so that you're ahead at the end, right? So they make their run, then they get the layup to go ahead. I think there's a little over a minute to go. What are you guys thinking at that point before Jalen Crocker-Johnson knocks down the go-ahead bucket again? Yeah,
like you said, they went on a good run, and right when they made that, they called a timeout, so we got to regroup a little bit, and I think we had a great mindset going back out on the court. It's like, well, we can't do anything about the run they just went on, just focus on what we can do to control, getting a good shot, and like you said, Croc hit an awesome 3 and helped us win that game.
Yeah, and then it became a free throw shooting contest. And earlier in the year, there's probably a game or two that if you guys shoot free throws better, your record's even better than it is now. That said, free throw shooting, we're knocking on wood here, has been really good in these clutch situations. You hit both at the Northwestern game and the game the other night. You hit some big ones late. So that's got to be a good feeling too, stepping up to the line, feeling good about that.
Right. I mean, it definitely is like those high pressure situations. Hard to really practice that in practice. You don't really get a ton of reps in those moments, but I think everyone has done a good job just working on it consistently and trying to stay in the present moment and just be up there with confidence and knock them down.
So put us in your shoes a little bit. How do you try to stay calm in a situation like that? I mean, way back, I remember, I did some much lower level competition. Sometimes you can feel your heart beating in your chest. Sometimes your knees might shake a little. I'm not suggesting that that's the case, but how do you handle that, and how nervous do you get when you know you have a skill set like you have? You're a good free throw shooter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. There's some nerves. I mean, that's normal. I feel like if I didn't have them, something would be off.
Yeah.
But I think just taking deep breaths, trying to find different ways to pull yourself back into the moment, which kind of eliminates that, and you can kind of control it, and then just step up there with a clear mind, I feel like is the way that I like to do it.
Your season has been an interesting one, too. You start the year coming off the bench. I think the role is going to be, all right, this is a guy that's going to come out and bang some threes. He's our sharpshooter. They weren't falling there for a minute, right? It is what it is. And then now they're starting to fall. Now all of a sudden, injuries. And it could have been at some point you'd have been the starter anyway, but now you're starting. You know, as you said, there's clarity. How much has that helped that now I know my role, and maybe there's not as much pressure. I don't know when you know I can just play, right? There's nothing to I'm out here. I know what I'm doing. I have a skill set for this, and away we go.
Mm-hmm. That's a piece of it for sure. I think starting off the year, I didn't go how I wanted it to and how I imagined it going. But I think everything kind of happens for a reason. I feel like I did a good job just staying with it. And now I'm in a position where I have a little bit bigger role, playing a little bit more, like you said, knocking down some more shots than I did in the beginning. So I think all of that kind of helped get to this point, and I think it's still something that is never really a finished product. I still got to continue to get better and stay with it.
I think, too, sometimes if here he's our shooter, and he's coming off the bench, and so he's going to get, not unlimited shots. Like it's going to be a few a game. And so all of a sudden you might get 5 shots, and if 2 don't go in and 3 don't go in, I can see how that can kind of feel like it's all of a sudden the wall caving in there a little bit in relative terms. Where if you're starting, you've got the whole, I'm playing 32 minutes. If the first one doesn't go, I'm going to get another shot here. I don't have to just guide this thing in so much. Do you feel that, or am I barking up the wrong tree there?
No, that's definitely accurate. I think that's a part of it, just with myself, and I think the coaches early in the year did a good job just saying, like, you're fine, like, just stay with it, be confident, like you said, just making sure, because I wasn't getting as much shots or a ton of shots, so just really to be confident when I do shoot it, that was definitely something that they were helping me do.
Nico had commented in the Northwestern win that Tyson had missed a couple of threes, and at one of the timeouts, he's like, quit passing up the three, shoot it. And of course, he hits the crazy shot buzzer beater on the shot clock. And I think Coach Medved said something like, "Well, I told him that. I knew he would make it. I didn't know it would come in that kind of a situation." How helpful is that? You mentioned that even in your case early in the year, the coaches continue to, they're not saying, "Hey, don't shoot. Hey, we can't play it." Because they know you can shoot, right? So how comfortable or how confident did that also help you?
That played a big role. I think just knowing that the coaches really believe in us makes it a big difference for us. I think just especially as someone that a lot of the way that I can impact the game is making a three-pointer or stuff like that. So really just knowing that whether I make it or miss it, that they believe in me, I think kind of frees me up and frees a lot of the guys on the team up to do what they do best on a nightly basis.
How you hit the big one the other night, the roof blowing off the place. I mean, what kind of adrenaline rush does that give a guy?
I mean, that was a lot of fun. It was really cool, especially to have the crowd as into the game as they were in that moment. It was a lot of fun.
How much fun is it to play in this offense? Was the Davidson offense much like this, or was this totally new when you got here in June?
There are some similarities. It's definitely different. There's just different things that we kind of preach here that are important to us that were different at Davidson. But I think I was kind of well prepared just in terms of the constant movement and motion of it. I think has helped me adjust a little bit quicker than some other schools may have made it.
Yeah, and it's so fun to watch because. And I've tried to describe it a couple of different ways in that you guys play fast, but nothing seems rushed ever. There's always it's patient but quick, if that makes sense, right? I mean, you know what I'm talking about. The way, you have bigs out front, and then you guys are doing the cuts, and I'm describing it on the radio, all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's a layup. How did that happen? There's nobody within 8 feet of the rim all of a sudden. That's got to be a great feeling, right?
Really great feeling. I think part of that is just knowing like the coaches do such a good job of kind of putting us in positions. So like we know if we run the stuff right, if we run everything, that more likely than not we're going to get a great shot. And I think a lot of the times, like you mentioned, it ends up in a layup with no one really around. And like some of the coaches say, like those are worth more than 2 points when the team's playing hard on defense and then they just let up a wide open layup with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Like those count for a little bit more than 2 points.
Yeah, and then you get like what we had Saturday with Grayson Grove getting 4 dunks all of a sudden, right? I mean, I think Nico called him Shaquille O'Neal impersonation, but the offense that's what that offense can do, right? Sometimes if the switch isn't made or however it's going to work, there's a counter to it, and consequently you get a big day like that from the redshirt freshman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in this offense, you never know who's going to be able to get the open shot depending on how teams play. I feel like we're prepared for so much of what teams are going to try to do to us, and we get open looks as a result of that.
There is also with 7 guys, there's a balance to it, and Coach Medved on his coach's radio show this week talked about, we need guys to fill the box score now with just 7. It's not going to be spread out, so you've got a game like Langston Reynolds who had 13 points and 13 assists the other day. You have a game where Isaac Osama, I've said this a couple times now at different things, where he matched his career high at the Northwestern game with 18, and that was like the 5th thing that people were bringing up because there were so many other. Like normally, a guy hits a career high. We talk about that. You had a Gopher for your Gopher career high in the FDU game with 19. That was the first thing everyone talked about. Poor Isaac, he's got 18, and there's we got Grayson Grove with dunks. We've got Langston Reynolds with a career high in assists. We've got Tyson hitting buzzer beating threes. I mean, it was an unbelievable. You hitting free throws in your hometown late to help seal it. So that balance certainly has to make it fun to play on this team, and again, kind of able to puff your guys' chest out here for a bit.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes it so fun to be on a team like this. I think really the fact that everyone can contribute, everyone can have a great game, and it's really just a collective team effort that really gets it done. Like you said, in that Northwestern game, we had 4 guys that really had awesome nights, and some guys didn't really get the talk that they maybe deserved, and I think the fact that they weren't really worried about that is another part that makes it a special team.
Yeah, and I loved Isaac. The previous game was 1 for 10 from 3. And I actually like the fact that because I think some people have if you start 0 for 5, you better not shoot another 3. It's not your night, but that really can't be a mentality. You got to have enough confidence to keep going. So he keeps shooting and he keeps missing, but that's okay. I'm actually on the radio. Hey, that's fine. I like the fact that he's feeling good still, and then the next day he hits 4 out of 7, or next game I should say hits 4 out of 7, like the previous game didn't even exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Ike's an awesome shooter. I think we know that 1 for 10 game or whatever it was, like that's just a one-off game. We know we all have confidence in him that the next time he's going to go out, he's going to make the next 5 threes that he takes. So I think kind of that mindset and mentality that he has is something that we need as a team. For him every single night.
So how much fun was it to be in Chicago playing in your home area last weekend?
It was an awesome experience. Being from Chicago area, like seeing Northwestern, seeing all the Big Ten games that they have, and being able to play there in front of some of my friends and family was an awesome experience, and to get the win made it a lot better.
And snack time.
Snack time.
Were you familiar with snack time?
No. I heard some rumblings about it after the game from Croc about snack time, but I wasn't quite sure what it was about.
So everyone, I think, is exchanging stories about the snacks. I've been asked, because once it hits social media, then everybody knows, right? I've been asked even, hey, what did you get? What did you get? So I'm going to ask you, what were your snacks?
My go-to order after that was the Mike and Ike's and the lemonade.
Oh, nice, very good. You can't go wrong with Mike and Ike's or lemonade. We've talked a lot about offense. I thought it was interesting. Ben McCallum, the Iowa coach, both before and after the game said that you guys obviously run a lot of stuff that's hard to guard offensively, but he said he thinks one of the keys to especially the recent great play is how well you guys are defending right now. Take us through that, how that has progressed, and now you guys kind of know what Nico wants and the coaching staff wants defensively.
Mm-hmm. We were a lot better on defense. We've been a lot better on defense the past few games, like you mentioned. I think part of that really starts with Langston. I think he did a great job on their best player the other night at Iowa, which really sets the tone for us. And I think collectively as a team, we've done a good job just team defense, whether it's rotating, being in the gap for your teammates. I think we've gotten a lot better at that, which makes it hard because one-on-one they might be able to score, but when you're really playing 1-on-5, because that's kind of the mentality that we have to have, it makes it a lot easier for us to get stops.
Yeah, there was a stretch in that second half where it was pretty clear that Sturts for Iowa, great player, Langston had shut him down, and then he had some foul trouble too, which helped, no doubt. Sometimes if you're going to get a win, you need some things to go your way, and you got a couple of fouls early, so you do that. But there was a stretch where they were clearly, okay, we need this guy to start taking over the game. They're running these screens, and Langston is just going over, under, back and forth, and I'm like, he had to sleep great on Tuesday night once the adrenaline wore off, but what an effort that guy had that night defensively.
Yeah, for sure. He's a special player. He's talented, especially on the defensive end. Just knowing that we have someone like him that can go out there and every single time he's there, he's going to give it his all. I think really makes it easy for us to play with him, and it really helps us a lot as a team.
Your defense as well. I remember early in the season, Coach Medved was talking about that he wanted to help, I guess, create a situation where, one, you can use your anticipation skills rebounding-wise, and two, you have long arms and you're 6'7", and you might be guarding some guys that are smaller and whatever and take advantage of that. And all of a sudden you have some games where you got 4 steals, 3 steals, a couple of block shots, whatever it is. Take me through how you feel you've progressed defensively.
I feel like I've got a lot better defensively over the course of the year. To start off, I feel like I was really not playing great defensively, especially on ball. I feel like I've always been a solid team defender, just being in the right spots, but I feel like I gave up some easy buckets that really aren't what we're trying to do as a team and hurt us. I think the past month or two, I've gotten a lot better, just being solid on defense, like you said, using my length and my arm extension just to kind of disrupt the offensive player enough to the point where we can get a stop or make him take a tough shot, which I think is kind of the goal of our entire defense. So being able to do that has helped me a lot.
Transition from Davidson now to the Big Ten. Now you've got 4 Big Ten games under your belt, played at Missouri, played those games in California. So you've played some high-level competition. How do you feel that you've made the transition now to into the high-level college basketball?
I feel like I've made it decently well. I think, like you mentioned, 4 games now. I feel like I'm getting better with each one, just getting more comfortable. Like earlier in the year, it's harder to get adjusted. I think some of the teams we played that beat us kind of did a good job with what they wanted to do, and I think I wasn't exactly as impactful as I could have been, but I think, like you said, just getting more games has allowed me to grow and just make a bigger impact.
So we're recording that. You guys had a little bit of a workout this morning. This is Thursday, kind of over the lunch hour here. So game tomorrow as we record USC on a little roll here. How important, obviously important to keep it rolling. You want to protect home floor. Trojans were ranked last week, so they're pretty good. In fact, they were 12-1 a week ago at this time. So what do you see from them? I know you guys scout. Don't give the total game plan away, but how much now do you look forward? Okay, the next one's coming up, and now we got hopefully another big crowd. Friday night basketball. Here we go.
Yeah, USC is a really good team. They got good size. I think like something the coaches mentioned is really not letting anything that's happened in the past impact the way that we're going to prepare. So we know that winning the past however many games doesn't really help us on Friday night. So I think having that mentality, knowing that USC is going to be a good team that has a lot of talented players, and one of the more talented teams that we've seen, is just going to mean that we have to be very prepared and ready to go.
So on one hand, the message will be, hey, whatever's already happened, so don't let it impact you. But I got to believe, on the other hand, you got to be bringing some swagger and confidence now, feeling much better, and which is better than not having it. Confidence is so important. You got to have a little swagger feeling the way you've been playing.
Yeah, and I think we do. I think everyone's really confident. And I would like to say that I feel like everyone's kind of had that same type of confidence the entire year. I think we didn't really show maybe earlier in the season, but I think now it's kind of showing a little bit more. But I think everyone's really always believed in what we have as a team since the jump.
Yeah, hopefully it's a big win on Friday night. Let me talk about a sponsor quick, and then we're going to talk about your background a little bit and get to know Bobby Durkin a little bit better. We're going to talk about Onyx Hunt right now. If you've ever driven past a piece of land and wondered who owns that, or maybe you need to know exactly where a property line runs, well, that's where Onyx Hunt comes in, and it's not just for folks hunting. There are folks using Onyx for their jobs every day throughout the country. Farmers use it, ranchers use it. They map out fields, firefighters navigating through rough terrain, construction workers needing to know where the property line starts and ends. It's the app offering something for everyone. If you need the best land ownership map with aerial imagery and property boundaries in your pocket, it's the onX Hunt app, the tool for the job. Try it for free for 7 days right now. Download onX Hunt in the app or the Google Store at onxmaps.com/hunt to get started. You're from Chicago. Take us through the high school. You played at a pretty legendary high school, Glenbard West. You won a state title there. Take us through your recruiting process with your success at the high school level, and eventually tracking your way to Davidson.
Mm-hmm. My recruiting process was a little different than probably the traditional high school basketball player that goes to a Division I school. But I think, like you touched on, my high school experience was a lot of fun. I was able to play with some good players my senior year of high school, and it was just an awesome experience to have a good season and play with them. To get to Davidson, like you mentioned, I went to a prep school after not really having any Division I offers my senior year of high school. Went to a prep school at IMG for a year and was luckily able to pick up some offers and more attention from the Division I schools, and then ultimately went to Davidson.
Yeah. How was your experience there? So that's the home of the Currys, right? I mean, or the Curry, I should say. Have you met him before, Steph Curry? Has he been around when you were there?
We went one time out to California for a game, and we got to go watch the Warriors play, and then afterwards Steph brought us down, and we got to talk to him for a little while, which was a cool experience.
That had to be pretty cool. Was that part of your decision, knowing that they run an offense that a shooter's going to excel in?
100%. I think that was a part of it, and just kind of the feel, like the way that they play offense in general, I think suited me more than some of the other schools at that time. And
of course, he had played a long time ago, so certainly different things have changed in terms of even how offenses are run, and analytics are new now. You forget how fast time flies, but it still had to be pretty cool. So you have a couple of good years, and take us through the decision then, hey, I want to hop into the portal and try my hand at maybe even a higher level than where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. It was a tough decision, obviously. I really did enjoy my 2 years at Davidson, made a lot of nice friendships and connections that were meaningful to me. I think the decision really just came down to, like, it has always been a dream of mine to play in the Big Ten. Like, it's just what I wanted to do since I was little, and I think this was an awesome opportunity for me, so I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah. How did that recruiting process go? Obviously, you ended up with the Gophers, but who were some of the other schools that maybe were hot on your tracks as well?
There was a few other schools that I visited. I went to Clemson. I went to DePaul, which is a Chicago school. I think ultimately I just really liked Minnesota. I think like it was the offense and the coaches that I think really kind of stuck out to me and made it feel like the right spot.
Yeah, I think your skill set fits what this team wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you fit right in here and getting open looks, and next thing you know, you're winning 6 or 7, and that's great. Your high school, I want to go back, high school, Glenbard West. So Gopher fans listening, I only bring it up because we have some old-timers that always listen to these shows. Coach Mo, Jim Molinari, was the coach. It was an interim coach here. He was an assistant for a while. He coached at Northern Illinois. He played his high school basketball at Glenbard West. Does that name ring a bell at all?
No, I probably should, but no, I'm actually not
Coach Mo is one of the all-timers. He was I've never been around a coach that had more philosophical sayings and different things, and it was fun. And he was Mr. Chicago too. He coached at Bradley as well as a head coach for a time, and then he was at Western Illinois as a head coach. He was here for a while, so he's been around the block. But same high school as you. When I first time because he talked about it a lot, and first time when I saw your bio that said you were there, I'm like, hey, that's Coach Mo's school. The prep school, how much did that help in terms of development, competition, exposure, going to IMG?
I think that played a big role in my ability to impact the college game as a freshman. I think I learned a lot being away from home from the first time, just really everything that a freshman goes through their first year of college. I was able to do a year earlier before I got there. So just the practices, playing against stronger players, like there was great competition at IMG Academy, a lot of very good players. So I think really all of those factors helped me just become a better basketball and more prepared for the college level.
Were you on one of the teams that does a lot of the traveling across the country as well?
I was not on. We traveled a little bit. I wasn't on one of their high school national team that goes everywhere.
You see
around
on
the
ESPN
right.
every now and then. Yeah,
I wasn't on that team, but we still had some good teams and good travel where we were going to different places.
I mean, that's one of the things about that place, right? I mean, they have the. I mean, I'm sure when you were there's guys that are maybe already in the NBA out of that place on the that top team, right? Yeah, that you're rubbing elbows
for
with
sure.
down there and working against.
Yeah, there was a lot of good players that were there at that time.
All right, so now we're going to go a little off the beaten path. I've been told a lot of people refer to you as Bobby Buckets, but you're lukewarm at best on that nickname. Is that right?
I think it's a cool nickname to have. But I think I don't want my parents calling me that, I guess, if that makes sense.
What if the TV or radio guy, are you okay if they use it, or would you not like that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, I might use that then. I might pull Bobby. I haven't used it yet because some people said you might not be that high on it, but if we get the stamp of approval, we might use that on the radio at some point. Okay, this one is on the movie Hoosiers, right? You know where I'm going with this. Jimmy Chitwood is the star of that movie. Have you seen it, I hope?
I have not seen it.
Come on.
I have not seen it.
You've never but you've had people that have had to tell you that you remind them of the star of that movie, Jimmy Chitwood, who hits the game-winning shot. He's in the huddle and he says they're going to call the play for somebody else, and he tells Gene Hackman, "I'll make it." And then he makes it. But your body build, the hairstyle, the shooting look, it's like you just basically ripped off Jimmy Chitwood's style. It's unbelievable. Do you get that a lot? Do people mention that to you?
Yeah, I do. I get a decent bit. I think that's kind of the most common comparison that I get.
Yeah. But you've never seen it.
Never seen it.
And because everyone is saying that doesn't force you into saying, "Gosh, I better take a couple hours and watch this basketball movie."
I feel like every single time someone brings it up to me, I'm like, I really do have to watch it. And then I don't know. I think you
got other stuff.
Yeah, I think it just slips my mind.
All right, next long flight. That's your assignment. You're gonna have to download the movie and watch Hoosiers. It is a pretty good movie. It is a pretty good movie. All right. Well, hey, it's been fun. Tomorrow night, USC. Let's get another one. Let's keep this thing rolling. And then next week, when the Badgers roll into town, that'll be fun too. So let's just keep it rolling. Friday, Tuesday wins, and then off we go.
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
He is Bobby Durkin. It's episode 203.
My thanks to Gopher basketball player Bobby Durkin for joining me on this week's Go Gopher podcast and for letting us get to know him a little bit better. I hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation as much as I enjoyed being a part of it. Episode 203 is presented by Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're buying or selling a business, visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com. Cubs, a proud supporter of Gopher Athletics for over 20 years and a proud sponsor of the Go Gopher podcast with Mike Grimm. Cub, bigger savings on the items you love. Shop happy. OnX Hunt also sponsors our show, Happy Hunting from OnX Maps. Again, I'd invite you to listen to past podcasts, and please click that subscribe button or the follow button to the Go Gopher podcast. It's free to follow and free to subscribe and free to listen at any time. And please share the link to the podcast with others so they can subscribe and listen as well. And if you enjoyed the podcast, give us some positive feedback on your social media channels. We'll talk again next week.
Know what happy is? Veggies. Crunchy, crispy, colorful, seasonal, aromatic, juicy veggies. Produce at its freshest. Cub produce. Best produce, period. Guaranteed to make you happy or will replace it. No questions asked. Because good produce makes veggie lovers happy. Just remember, fresh, happy. Stale, limp, and wilted, not happy. You want to make a veggie lover happy? Shop Cub for produce. And shop happy.